Germs, the invisible world. Hi there, science fans. Bill Nye here, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of germs. These tiny, invisible creatures are all around us, and they play a huge role in our lives. Some germs are good, helping us digest food and keeping our bodies in balance. But others can make us sick, causing illnesses like the common cold, flu, and more. These tiny critters are everywhere, and some can even make us sick. They can be found on surfaces we touch, in the air we breathe, and even inside our bodies, but don't worry, not all germs are bad. In fact, our bodies are home to trillions of helpful bacteria that keep us healthy. But don't worry, knowledge is power. By understanding how germs work, we can take steps to protect ourselves and others. Simple actions like washing our hands regularly, covering our mouths when we cough or sneeze, and keeping our living spaces clean can make a big difference. By learning about germs, we can learn how to stay healthy. It's important to practice good hygiene and be mindful of how germs spread. For example, did you know that washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds can remove most germs? Hand sanitizers are also effective when soap and water aren't available. We're going to explore a germ called Hmpv. This virus, also known as human metapneumovirus, is a common cause of respiratory infections. It can lead to symptoms like coughing, sneezing, and a runny nose, similar to the common cold. It might sound like a robot's name, but it's a virus that can cause colds and coughs. Hmpv is especially common in young children, older adults, and people with weakened immune systems. Understanding how this virus spreads and how to protect ourselves is key to staying healthy. Ready to explore the science of Hmpv? Let's go! We'll dive into how this virus infects our bodies, how our immune system fights back, and what we can do to prevent its spread. So grab your magnifying glasses and lab coats, and let's embark on this scientific adventure together. Hmpv stands for human metapneumovirus. It's a relatively new virus that has caught the attention of scientists and doctors around the world. It's a bit of a mouthful, right? But don't let the long name scare you. Scientists discovered Hmpv in the year 2001. Since then, they've been studying it to understand how it spreads and affects people. That's not that long ago. In the grand scheme of things, it's a fairly recent discovery. It's a respiratory virus, which means it affects our lungs and airways. When someone gets infected, they might experience symptoms like coughing, wheezing, and difficulty breathing. Hmpv is found all over the world. No matter where you live, there's a chance you could come into contact with it. It's especially common in young children who often catch it in places like schools and daycare centers, but people of all ages can get it. From infants to the elderly, everyone is susceptible to Hmpv. So, it's important to be aware and take precautions to protect yourself and your loved ones. How do you know if you have Hmpv? Well, it can cause symptoms similar to a cold or the flu. You might get a runny nose, cough, and fever. Some people also experience wheezing or difficulty breathing. For most people, Hmpv is a mild illness. But for babies and people with weakened immune systems, it can be more serious. Section 4, Spreading Germs, How Hmpv Travels. Hmpv is pretty sneaky. It spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. You can also get Hmpv by touching a surface that has the virus on it, like a doorknob, and then touching your nose or mouth. That's why it's so important to wash our hands. Section 5. Diagnosis and treatment, getting better. If you think you might have Hmpv, it's important to see a doctor. They can figure out what's making you sick. There's no specific treatment for Hmpv, but there are things you can do to feel better. Get plenty of rest, drink fluids, and consider using a humidifier to ease congestion. Section 6. Prevention Power. Stop Hmpv in its tracks. In this section, we'll explore some simple yet effective ways to keep Hmpv and other harmful germs at bay. The good news is, there are things we can do to prevent the spread of Hmpv and other germs. By taking a few proactive steps, we can protect ourselves and our loved ones from getting sick. One of the most important things you can do is wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. This simple act can remove germs and prevent them from spreading. Another key step is to cover your mouth and nose when you cough or sneeze. Use a tissue or your elbow to prevent germs from becoming airborne and infecting others. And if you're feeling sick, it's crucial to stay home to avoid spreading germs to others. Resting at home helps you recover faster and keeps your community safe. Remember, a little hygiene goes a long way. Simple actions like washing hands, covering coughs, and staying home when sick can make a big difference. Stay curious, stay healthy, and let's work together to stop HMPV in its tracks.